Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Critical Reactions with your host, Bryan. We're going to finish up this week's theme of retrospection, looking at bands that I checked out when I started the channel and seeing if my opinion on them has changed or not, with BAND-MAID, RINNE. This was a song that I was a little harsh on, maybe. I remember talking about how it was too simple, and that aside from their strong musicianship, the song itself wasn't anything that particularly wowed me. We're going to see if my opinion on that has changed or not. Let's dive into this one and see what's going on. Yeah, we got some interesting dissonance ideas in there. Small variation on that opening idea, Paul muting it now to reduce the intensity. Drums are beginning to open up. I assume this is to make way for the chorus. Tons of intensity. Real nice drum fill there, right across the toms. Nice vocal harmonies there. Interesting left hand on that yeah. And we actually have this left hand idea that was a variation on that. Yeah, alright, so there's actually a lot of variation in the song structure. It's nuanced, but we had a pre-chorus there that we didn't prior. I heard a nice bass lick there. I wish the bass was just a little higher in the mix, so I could hear it more often. Very interesting. Adding in a little bit of dissonance in there. Yeah, some bass presence, that's what I'm talking about. Halftime feel to end the song out. And a little bit of a triplet fill to move into this outro. All right. Yeah, there's a lot of things in there that I don't remember. All I vaguely remember about the song is that it was just a hard rock track, and just that general idea of hard rock. So it's pretty cool to check that one back out and here's some new stuff in it. Alright, so let's dig into this a bit. We follow a pretty standard song structure. We have verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. However, there are a bit of nuances in them, which I think is pretty cool. Our second verse has a new guitar part into it, sort of an ambient, shrill kind of sound. It adds a bit of it's like the energy wants to go. It's like you get this high hit and then it kind of slides down a little bit and fades out. And I think it's a great way of creating tension and suspension before moving into the high energy chorus again. Um, but then we also have a pre chorus this time around, which is different from the first verse, which goes straight into the chorus. And then our last variation is our final chorus. Actually has a halftime feel section in the latter half of it, so we get a small variation on that as well. So even just on a basic structure, they're not following they're following a standard structure, A B A B C B, but they're utilizing some small variations, so it's kind of technically A B A prime B C B prime. Pretty cool. Um, so I enjoy that. I think it was last week. I don't remember what band it was, but I was talking about anytime that you're going to follow this pattern of bringing the chorus back every other section. By the end of the song on your final one, you're going to have heard the chorus 3, maybe 4 times, depending on how many verses you're going for. That it really is a wasted opportunity not to do a variation on it in some way, especially as the final moment to carry out the song. And this is definitely one of those ways. A halftime feel in the final section is just, it's a great way to change it up while retaining the core feeling to it. Um, I'm also a huge fan of changing up verses. Um, I think it's really cool when the second verse is basically its own idea. It's not even based off of the first verse. So you get like an A, B, C, B, D, B idea. I think that's pretty awesome. But even something like this, where it's a minor switch up, is huge. First of all, you have that extra guitar line in there that's changing some of the ideas that are going on in this section. But then, like I said, you also have the pre-chorus coming in there as well, which completely changes the entire feeling of this area by adding a new section into it entirely. It also plays around with expectation subversion. By the time the second verse comes around, we expect the next chorus to be coming around at around the same time that it happened previously, and they're like, nope, pull that rug out from under the listener, we're doing something different. So even just on a structural level, I I feel like I discounted this band the first time. Um, and I'm not sure why. um, I I can't say that this is anything new to me. It's not like when we checked out Cult of Luna earlier this week or Russian Circles yesterday, where I can say, okay, I'm more involved in this style of music. I can hear more of the nuance now that I understand, how this genre works. This is just, I mean, straight up hard rock. This is what I grew up on when I was, a kid. I grew up on 90s hard rock. I listened to a lot of Metallica Black Album and Load and Reload, which were even more simplified versions of hard rock than what Metallica was exploring on the Black Album. I listened to a lot of radio rock in the 90s. This is not anything new to me. I can't believe I didn't pick up on these subtle nuances the first time I checked this out. Um, I enjoyed the vocal harmonies in the chorus. I don't think they added too much because I feel like the second vocals were a bit muted in the mix compared to the main vocalist. I would have liked for them to have a little bit of a boost and maybe. I mean, I guess you don't really have much of a choice when you have an instrumentalist singing. You don't really get to choose their range. They have a range that's going to be natural to them. It's not like they went and auditioned a second vocalist and can find somebody who fits a specific area. But I also feel like the guitar's vocals and the lead vocals are very similar, and having a bit of an octave difference between them could have helped with differentiating or even allowing the second vocals, the backing vocals, to cut through a little bit more. So I think it might have been a little bit of the mix that kind of hid them, but also that they're very similar ranges from what I heard. So it was more of a textural augmentation than a harmonic one, but I do enjoy watching musicians do dual duty or triple duty even. That's awesome too. And then I've talked in the past. I love dual vocals, dual harmony lines. All of it always sounds real great to me. The bass work, I want to say, is great. I did not hear it often. I don't know if that was a mix thing or if maybe I just wasn't looking for it. Maybe the times that I was looking for the bass, they were playing what the guitar was playing and it covered them up. That's, I mean, a pretty standard hard rock thing is for the basses to do what the guitars are doing, but usually on the root note, an octave or two lower. But the few times that I did pick out some unique ideas going on in the bass, just killing it. Real nice tone, some really nice ideas. They use the bass as a lead in out of the guitar solo into the final chorus, I think. Maybe it was the opening of the final chorus. Either way, somewhere at the end, the bass was isolated, and the lick that they played was nice. Moved all over the neck. We went for some lower range up to some higher range. Some nice movement to it. It had a little bit of a bluesy feel to it, and I love that. Fantastic. Like I said, just a real nice thick tone as well. Um, what else? The drummer, great job. I've said a lot this week. I don't know what it is with drumming. I've never really been hyper focused on drums before, and recently they've been speaking to me, and I love the drumming here. It's consistent, it's precise, and it moves through a bunch of ideas. We had the double bass kick run at the beginning, and then we had some ideas of like halftime groove beats, as well as just some really driving punk stuff there in the chorus. Quite a versatile drummer. And like I said, very precise as well. So I enjoyed that. But the song as a whole does kind of bounce off of me a bit. It's not my type of music anymore. If I had heard this, well, if I I was gonna say if I had heard this 2 decades ago, I probably would have really loved it. But I don't think this song was around 2 decades ago. So that might have been impossible. I might have been a time traveler. But yeah, I've kind of grown out of this music, but I can appreciate the subtle nuances and the growth of the genre that they're employing. Like I said, they've taken some tropes of hard rock and have applied some new ideas to it. They did that subtle variation at the end with the halftime. They did the variation in the verse two. They're putting a lot of twists on familiar grounds, and I got to give them props for that. Oh, the guitar solo. Yeah, the guitar solo is interesting. So it starts out fairly standard, I think. We had a tone change. We started out with some slight, not shred, but definitely some movement to it, right? Which keeps in line with, just coming off of the chorus, having a lot of energy there. Makes sense to do that. And we did some light ideas, movement ideas, a little bit of storytelling, and then we move into a section where she starts playing around with tonality. And it kind of comes out of nowhere, and I don't know if she is playing between frets to get some microtonality or if it's bending. I know I saw some slides going on as well. I heard some slides, but there's definitely some playing around with tonality and dissonance in that section, and it feels a bit odd to my ears, but I think that's mostly because I wasn't expecting it. The whole song up to this point has been rather harmonious. So I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt here that it might sound better or make more sense on a second listen when I'm expecting it to come in, but having it come out of nowhere with no foreshadowing, no ideas of microtonality or dissonance being applied throughout the song up until this point, it's an odd decision for me. However, I don't want to take that away from I don't want that to take anything away from the solo, because the whole point of a solo is to be expressive. And if that's what the guitarist was feeling at the time, then it works. I've listened to some odd bebop in my time where the core riff, the core melody of the song is rather harmonious, and then the solos get way wild bonkers before coming back together for the final main melody idea. So, yeah, like I said, it sounds weird to me because I wasn't expecting it. But now that I know it's there, it's very possible on a subsequent listen, it won't be as jarring of an experience for me when I get to that point. Trying to think if there was anything else. I feel like I've been talking really quick, and it was a short song, but the video is only sitting at 16 minutes right now, which is a short one for this channel. But I think I touched on everything. I touched on the song structure. I touched on every instrument. I don't think there was anything else that really stood out to me, and if there was, I'm going to be disappointed, but I think I'm going to have to end the video here. It's a good song, and like I said, I enjoy what they're doing to change up the genre tropes, but it just isn't something I'm going to be reaching for on my own time. If it came on, I'd jam to it. It's a fun song, 100%. Not necessarily my cup of tea for casual listening, though. Those are my thoughts on BAND-MAID's RINNE second listen. I don't think I was. I think I was more accurate with this reaction than the last one. I think my final thoughts are the same. I landed on the same place. It's a fun song that's not necessarily for me. They're talented musicians, but I picked up on some nuances I didn't last time. And I think that's kind of a huge difference. I think is picking up on nuance. And I'm still confused why I didn't do that last time. I mean, I'm going to blame not hearing. I don't think I heard the bass last time either, because I remember hearing a lot of comments that I need to check out this other live track where the bassist gets to do like a 1 minute solo or something. So I'm pretty sure I made some comments about the bass work last time, but I'm going to blame that on the headphones. But as for not picking up on the variations in the song structure, what was I doing 2 years ago? This is where you guys come in, though. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you thought of BAND-MAID's RINNE. Let me know if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I've said it 3 or 4 times now, and every time I'm like, that was probably wrong, but I gotta stick with my guns here. I've said it 4 times already. I'm gonna have to stick with that pronunciation for now. Let me know if you enjoyed it or not. Anything that you might have picked up on that I didn't. Anything that really sticks out to you that you absolutely love about the song that maybe I didn't touch on. Let me know in the comments. Above the comments section is a description box, and there is a link for Linktree. It'll take you to a menu with everything related to the channel, such as Instagram, Bryan, such as Patreon, Twitter, Discord, my email. I don't have an Instagram. Please don't look for me on Instagram. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I'm failing as a YouTuber. I'm promoting social media I don't have. Above the description box, if you could, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. We got one more video coming up in about 10 minutes. We're going to be looking at our creator request this week, where usually a smaller band will email me and I'll check out something that they've been working on, provide some criticism, and also, hopefully, promote it a little bit and connect them with new fans or help listeners maybe find their next favorite band. We do that every week on a Friday. Alright, until next time, remember to be critical but not cynical of the music you listen to, and have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you choose to watch my videos.